everyone, welcome back to Everyone a Reader. I just learned how to do that. Isn't that amazing? All right, today on the show, we have my best good friend, Miss Jenni Laing. And let me tell you a little bit about Jenni. She is a lower elementary teacher. She's been doing, since I've known her, she's been doing KG1 and KG2, but I know she's done pre-K in the past as well. And she has a passion for teaching that is unmatched. And she wants to learn everything there is to know about everything that has to do with education. And I absolutely respect her for that. I also wanted to share a story about Jenni and me, our friendship, because I just feel like I need to share this. And that is, Jenni and I, we've been working together now for 2 years. We're starting our third year. And the first 2 years we worked together, we were friendly, right? Like we were in meetings together, but we didn't really have a close connection. We were just kind of living our parallel lives, working hard, being teachers. And then this summer happened and we were all stuck in Saudi Arabia. We became so insanely close. It's crazy. But it's not crazy, but it is, I'm telling you this because this would have never happened if we wouldn't have been kind of forced together and we just kind of started peeling back layers and we realized we had so much in common and we love books, we love reading, we started a book club, and it's just so important to go for it, is what I'm saying. For 2 years, I always thought like, man, Jenni's so cool, but she was over there and I was over here and we never just made that connection. And because we were kind of forced this summer because we were just here, we realized that we just clicked in a different way this summer. And I am so incredibly thankful for her friendship. One of the things I admire, of course, there's the teaching thing, but she is such a deep thinker. Like, she's just so reflective about life, and that makes me pause a little bit because I'm always so go, I got to do the next thing. And Jenni is more like, let's stop and think about it. And she mentions it a little bit in the interview. You'll see on the last question. It's just like classic Jenni. So without any further ado, please join me in welcoming Jenni Laing. And I can't wait for you all to hear about what makes Jenni a reader. Hi, Jenni. How are you?
Hello, I am doing so well, especially now that I'm talking to you.
Yay!
About reading, which I love.
It's our favorite thing.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. As you know,
it's an honor.
As you know, we have 5 questions that we're going to go over, and I can't wait to hear your responses. Are you ready?
Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Come on, bring it on.
Okay. Question 1 is, what is your favorite children's book? Now, this could be one that you read as like when you were a child or something that you've read more recently.
Well, I loved the book. It's called The Wolf's Chicken Stew. And as a child, I loved it. I would beg my mom to read it every night, but she read to myself and my grumpy older brother. And every time I wanted to read it, he would throw a fit. So I had to really fight for it. But I loved it. Can I tell you what it's about?
Please.
So it's about this wolf. and he's trying to fatten up this chicken to eat it for his stew because he's so hungry. And so he bakes the chicken like 100 cookies and 100 of these and 100 of that, but the chicken wasn't getting fatter. So he followed the chicken into the chicken's home and then found out that the chicken was mom to 100 babies. But all of the babies were so happy to see the wolf because the wolf was the giver of all the gifts. And so the cuteness and the warmth and the love of the baby chicks converted the wolf so that he didn't want to eat chicken anymore, which is funny because I'm a vegan. So that's funny how that worked out in life.
Maybe that planted the seed of like, hey, this is why we shouldn't eat animals.
Yeah, I think so. So that was my absolute favorite book, and I still have a copy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, question 2.
Okay.
What is your favorite genre to read, and why do you like that genre?
I like the genre that one of my favorite authors I'm not sure if he invented it or is kind of a Japanese twist on magical realism.
Ooh,
but also has like lots of philosophy. So it's fiction, obviously, but it also has a lot of like philosophical symbolism and like the journey of the hero. So I'm not sure exactly what to call it, which maybe I should find out. But I'm gonna go with Japanese magical realism / sci-fi.
You know, I feel like when things are harder to put in boxes with labels, it makes them better. You know? Like if it's not just so obviously one thing, it makes it more complicated and interesting, and so I totally get why you like something that's hard to define. Cool.
And plus, my favorite author, Haruki Murakami, he infuses like his love of jazz into things, and also his love of cooking. And so it has like a music and like a food vibe that goes too. So I just love him.
That sounds amazing, and you're gonna need to tell me more about that. But we're gonna move on to question 3.
Let's do it.
Okay. In your opinion, what makes a good reader?
Okay.
So if we think about a good reader, what would you say?
Yeah. I've been reflecting on my own reading habits, and I think a good reader is somebody who continually reassesses their reading habits and how they build reading into their life. So first, a good reader has to have a passion and a thirst and enjoyment out of reading. And then, life can get so busy. And I think a good reader always kind of reassesses, okay, what are habits that are helping my reading life and what are habits that are hindering it, and kind of just trying new things. So, for example, I like to read before bed, but I'm always so sleepy. So I've come up with kind of 2 life hacks. I start reading in the morning for like 15 minutes, and then I also started audiobooks while I prepare my like daily breakfast and lunch. So I think that's what there's so many parts to being a good reader, but I think for me that part really resonates with me.
So it sounds like a good reader is someone who is aware of the things they need to work on, and they're kind of continuously checking in on how they're doing. That's a brilliant segue to my next question, which you kind of answered. Oh yeah.
Can I add a second part to that too?
Please.
Because I just thought of something.
Come on.
Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay, so also a good reader has reading friends, and they talk about their books together, and it's like a fun. I'm fortunate to have really good reading friends, so I think that's another part. Yeah. But I'm ready for question 4.
Okay. So you kind of touched on this a little bit.
Okay.
But maybe you could go into more depth. What is a strong reading habit that you have already? And then, or maybe if you're not really feeling confident in your reading habits right now in this moment, what's something you want to work on? It's kind of an either or.
I think a couple of reading habits that I've really built in is finding new authors and new genres by trusted friend recommendations. Because sometimes there's so much choice if you just go to the bookstore. Sometimes I'm like in an airport bookstore because I love airport bookstores. And I'm like trying to find, I'm trying to research on Google, like, okay, which one is like this author and that author. And okay, I guess this book. And I that happened to me recently. I started reading Cloud Atlas because I was in an airport and I was researching books like Haruki Murakami. And so I picked up Cloud Atlas, which is a really thick book. So it takes commitment and dedication.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't get into it. So I think having those trusted, like reading similarities and friendships really helps because they've vetted the book before. I think sometimes I get so disappointed when I get a book and I'm so excited about it and then I just don't connect with what the author's saying. So I think that's definitely one thing that's really important in your reading habits is to have that sort of trusted friend circle.
Yeah, I love that. That's a really good answer. Okay, the last question is kind of a visualization experience. Are you ready?
I like those.
Okay. Close your eyes and imagine
Here we go.
You've just read the best book in your entire life. Like the best book you've ever read ever. And you just read the last page. You finished the last word. Now, what is the next thing you do immediately after finishing the last word?
Oof. Changed my life.
Yeah, this book, it's the best thing you've ever read. So what are you going to do?
I think I would find a quiet spot to go and sit and just let it all soak in.
I love that answer.
I think that's what I would do. And I would just really, because I think those really great books really resonate with my being, what's essential and core to me. So I think I would just let it at first, I would just kind of savor it and just let it sink in without trying to overthink things, just kind of basking in the warmth. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. Would you set a time limit for yourself, or do you think it would just be whatever feels good?
I think whatever feels good.
Yeah. So just kind of go with the flow and let it sink in.
Just go with the flow.
Find
my little happy zone.
Yeah. And do some immediate reflecting, right? Before your brain moves on, you want to sit with it. That's great. I never would have thought of that, but it totally makes sense. I love it.
Yeah, which is why these conversations are so important, which is why you're doing such a wonderful thing.
It's why I love talking about reading. I'm learning things every time I talk to someone about their reading habits or what they're reading. I'm learning new things constantly. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So if someone really connected with something you said and they want to they have some follow-up questions, is there any way that a person viewing this could contact you, or are you on Twitter or anything?
I am on Twitter. And I think I even know my handle.
Oh, yay.
I think it's at Jenni A. Laing.
Cool.
So I think that would be a great way to connect with me. And I'm always excited to talk about reading. So if you connected with anything in this video, I'd be so excited to chat.
Yeah. And, I have millions of subscribers and viewers. Yeah. This probably is going to get 10 million views. So there's probably going to be so many people contacting you and saying, I love Japanese sci-fi, crazy mixed up genres too.
Yeah. And maybe my circle of recommendation friends, it can only grow bigger and bigger, and we could discover new books together.
Oh my goodness. There's so many positives that come from this show. I just can't even handle it.
Absolutely.
All right, Jenni. Well, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for being open and honest here. Yeah. And I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.